Happy to be back. Unfortunately, I wasn't on Wednesday night. Was feeling a bit underneath the weather. Started kind of feeling better Thursday morning. For those of you who did check out the stream last night, much appreciated. Those of you who watched me get dominated by the computer over and over again in Champions of Norath. Champions of Norath was actually the game that I had been hinting at all week that I was going to be playing. It was a lot of fun. It was different, and it's always fun doing something a little different on the stream. I love doing the Path of Exile stuff and just kind of chatting, but just to have the opportunity to do something a little different was a lot of fun. So for everyone to check that out, definitely appreciate it. I do hope to do a few different streams in the future as well. So right now what I'm kind of doing tonight, I'll be going ahead doing some mapping and just some casual play here. Recently I did have a conversation with someone in one of my videos about my gem setup, and they were kind of telling me about this Pride gem, which admittedly I haven't checked out a whole lot just because of the fact that it's one of the new gems that was added in the Legion patch. So when I was making my build mock-up in Path of Building, I wasn't able to actually see this gem when I was creating my build. But after looking at it, I'm actually fairly impressed with what it actually offers, especially once quality is added into it. It gives more physical damage and raises, up to 30% as your enemies stay in your aura for longer. Plus, it doesn't count as a curse, so I can actually lay a curse on top of this. So I can actually get rid of the boots that I've been using, literally just to be able to stack curses. So it kind of gives me a little bit more build freedom, because at this point, I think I'll only have 1 or 2 unique items on the build. So something I kind of do when I'm looking for gems to purchase, and so once you reach endgame, obviously the person in town, you can obviously buy pretty much any gem except for the 3 support gems, the triple E's as I like to call them, from that vendor. But I will still buy gems from the trade market, simply because I'm looking for some gems that actually have quality added to them, just because of the fact that quality is a lot more difficult to add than just leveling up a gem. I don't mind leveling up a gem. It goes relatively quickly for most gems, especially when you're running the end game content. But quality, since you need gem cutters prisms, those can take a bit of time to actually accrue a decent amount of them. So if I can spend a decent amount, or a low amount of currency trying to get a gem that actually has a little bit of quality added onto it, I'll definitely go ahead and do that. Now, the one I'm highlighting, I've kind of gone through these 3 pages already, and I have a few that I'm remotely interested in. 2 Chaos Orbs for 12 quality, that's not horrible, but an Orb of Fusing for 7 quality, all day. I'll do that all day. 2 Orbs of Fusing for 9 quality. It would be nice to have that 7. It's only 2 Chaos Orbs. I have plenty of Chaos Orbs, so I'll probably try and go for that one first. The reason why I keep a few on here is just simply because of the fact that, just because that's the asking price that people set, they're not necessarily going to accept it. Huge pet peeve of mine, but, it's kind of whatever. It is what it is. But I always offer on the one I want the most first, kind of wait, see if I get a response, and then if I don't, I'll remove that offer, kind of move on to the next one. So the other reason why I don't mind spending 2 Chaos Orbs on this item is the fact that I'm over halfway through on the quality. You can get it up to 20%. So I only need 8 more Gem Cutters prisms after that. So it's, over halfway there for me. And 2 Chaos is super easy to get. I literally just have to, collect an entire set of unidentified, rare items that are above level 65. And, I'm good. So, I can earn those 2 Chaos back super quick. And, typically while you're mapping, once you get to those mid-tier maps, you're going to see a lot more Chaos Orbs dropping anyways. So 2 is kind of a drop in the pan. I don't really mind spending that. It may be a little more than it's worth, but, again, I don't really mind. It's not a huge deal. Oh, and it was actually accepted immediately. We're good there. So go into the trade market, send offers, receive our items. They must have actually just been sitting in the hub. So will take our gem. Now this gem is actually going to go ahead and actually replace my vulnerability gem. So it's not going to do quite as much physical damage, at least at level 1. Not a huge deal, but it's actually going to increase the area of effect that I'm doing as well because of the increase in quality, which is pretty nice. Maim is kind of a cool effect, but all it really does is slow enemies, so I don't really care that much about it. Bleed chance, I mean, bleed is good, but at the same time, the way that my unique item works, I'm not concerned about that either. And plus, I can just put a bleed support gem on my totem, and that's absolutely fine also. And physical damage over time, if I'm not focusing on bleed, that doesn't really matter anyways. So we'll go ahead and store that, and we will start leveling up Pride. So at this point, there's a few different things that we can do. I can keep my Blasphemy support and continue to run Enfeeble as, you know, a curse aura, which is fine. However, at this point, because of the fact that Pride takes up 50% of my mana reserve, I'm going to be withholding a lot of my mana there. So at this point, we may not really want to use Blasphemy support anymore. This will actually be a good gem to use for my cast when damage taken at this point, simply because we don't want 85% of our mana in reserve. It's fine if we're channeling Cyclone and actually hitting things constantly, but for the point of trying to get across the map and moving with Leap Slam, it's going to be kind of detrimental there, so not having that in reserve would be kind of nice. Plus, previously I had 70% of my mana in reserve because I was running double Curse Auras. So now what I can do is actually only have 50% of my mana reserve, so I've, essentially freed up 20% of my mana, which is super nice, so I don't have to worry quite as much about stacking mana anymore either. So I do have all of these linked here yet. Excuse me. So I do believe I have a cast when damage taken gem here already. So yeah, it's at level 1. So it'll cast after I've taken 528 damage. It's only going to sport a gem requiring level 38 or lower, however. Oops, I actually meant to take that, not try and set a price for it. So let's see, it was my gloves. Enfeeble currently requires level 66 because it's at level 18, which is kinda harsh. So let's actually go ahead and see. Well, actually, it's fine, really. Because what we can do instead, because this isn't one that I actually purchased. So I'm going to move this into my helmet. And I'm going to move Pride into my helmet as well. And this is just so I don't have to reroll sockets. So this will make this a little easier. Cast from damage taken. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and get a fresh Enfeeble gem, so I can level them together. So that way I'm still able to use both of them. Hey Darkness, what's up? How's it going tonight? And I do apologize that there haven't really been many videos out in the last week. It's been a pretty crazy last couple of weeks, honestly, for me at work. Kind of expanding my department at work currently, and just been a lot of planning and preparation and work for my kid's birthday party tomorrow. My son actually turned a year old today, which is awesome. We went out and had a lot of fun today. Left work early. which is very unlike me. So we'll go ahead and purchase an enfeeble gem from Lily here. It should be a blue gem. Where are you hiding? There it is. So it requires level 24, so that's totally fine. So we'll actually be able to go ahead and use that right away now. We'll socket that into our gloves, so now we have our cast when damage taken. So we're going to go ahead and be able to cast Enfeeble whenever we need it. So taking 528 damage, that's not really a whole lot, so we can probably actually level this up a couple times. We have, you know, almost 5,000 effective life, so I'd say we're probably safe to level it up to about level 4 or 5, but then we'll probably want to shut off the auto leveling, just because we don't want to have to take a ridiculous amount of damage to cast that curse. Now, the next thing that we can go ahead and do is actually look into a replacement for our boots. Just because of the fact that, I mean, really the only benefits that we're gaining from these, the movement speed is nice, however, we can get much higher movement speed on even just a rare pair of boots. The additional curse was the big reason why we had these boots in the first place, but with us now having, you know, an aura and a curse, we no longer need that. The increased armor is admittedly nice, but again, we can get higher on a rare item. The plus 15% to all elemental resistances, you know, we can potentially find a pair of boots that has, you know, triple resists on them. So I'm not actually going to go into the auction block and search for those right now. We're going to go ahead and map a little bit, and we're just going to keep an eye out for boots and hopefully get lucky. Hopefully get a good drop. You know, and if not a big deal. We can then look into the trade market. As you can see, I've got a decent amount of Chaos Orbs stacked up at this point, so yeah, I'm prepared to spend a little bit on this build now at this point. But the build's been functioning fine, so I don't really have any concerns. You know, we've died a few times mapping on stream, but at the same time, we've been mapping in multiplayer, which does two things. One, it increases the difficulty by quite a bit, and two, it increases the lag by quite a bit. So, you know, we're actually fighting a few different things there. But for the most part, let's see, that's actually some good modifiers for that. But for the most part, I'm actually pretty confident with this build. Been pretty happy with how it's been running. Definitely appreciate the conversation that I had in my videos about the Pride Aura, just because it's not something, you know, that being a newer gem, it's just not something I knew about. So, like I said, it wasn't built in there because, you know, when I created this build, that wasn't in path of building yet. So in Feeble, we don't even need to assign this, actually, because of the fact that it's going to cast when we take damage. Hey, dude, what's up? But we don't really actually have any other skills that we can slot, so we'll just kind of double up on our Lightning Golem. Actually, I must not have put it on there, but that's fine. Go in Sand Stance to increase our range. So Pride increases physical damage, and also if you have additional quality onto it, it I believe it increases your attack range. So it gives us basically the same effect that I was getting from Vulnerability, minus the Maim and the Bleed, which is fine. Maim isn't really a huge deal. I don't really, you know, care too much about if I'm slowing down enemies. You know, plus right now I currently have a Maim gem if I want to throw that on there. If I did, though, it would strictly be for the physical damage boost. Let's see. Let me actually show you Pride here. And since it has that 12% quality, it's also giving me 12% increased area of effect. Oh, so it's not actually attack range. It's just it makes the aura larger, I believe. And this should level up relatively quick, just because we're actually mapping, and these are, I believe I bought it at level 1. Yeah. So we should end up seeing this level a few times. Now we're going to be on the lookout for boots, just because we're trying to really replace what we currently have. So yeah, as you can see, you know, oh, you can see our pride already leveled up 1 level. As you can see, you know, not playing multiplayer, the lag is remotely non-existent for me right now. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's kind of my whole deal on this channel. You know, I kind of want to be a person who doesn't come off as intimidating. Like, I'm not like an expert at this game. I just understand a lot of the mechanics, you know, like the base mechanics. I'm not like a min-maxer. I'm not, you know, one of those guys who's gonna criticize you on your build. I'm basically gonna tell you to, you know, kind of play what you enjoy, and then just maybe give you a few survivability tips along the way. Scion, you can literally do anything you want with a Scion. Like, obviously, you know, you still have to kind of follow the constructs of making sure that you're not overstretching what you're trying to do with your character. Just because that's one of the, you know, super big things that people try and do with the Scion, just because of the fact that you kind of start right in the middle of the skill tree. Don't try and do too much with it. You know, still kind of stick to the main attack that you decide you want to use with your build, so your main skill gem, and kind of support everything around that. But, I mean, you have the most freedom with that. Yeah, the only thing that's unfortunate for us PS4 players is just, you know, the crashes, the lag, stuff like that, just because, you know, on a PC, if you have a super powerful gaming PC, you just don't run into a lot of those problems in general. With a PS4, you know, you have something that's pre-built. I keep running into the same Ascendancy trials. So, I mean, there's still more work for the developer to put into to kind of get the game to run smoother. And you're not alone. A lot of people are crashing a bunch. Hey, DMC, what's up? Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys. You know, I wouldn't do the videos if they weren't helping people out. Yeah, things are going great tonight. I had a fantastic day. Took off work early. Went swimming with my kid because it's his birthday today. That was a lot of fun. Actually lagged a little bit right there. It was good, man. I can't believe my kid's a year old already. Goes by fast. Yeah, dude, everyone's crashing. It's a big point of concern for a lot of people, and, you know, rightfully so. One thing that's worth a shot, if you have an external hard drive, I've got one hooked up to my PS4. I actually have the game installed on an external, and I do seem to crash a little less than what the average person seems to. So it might help. I plan on PS4 Pro. I have no idea if that's related or not either. Yeah, admittedly, so the way I set up my flasks is, I actually try to set up the top D-pad so that it's one that I'm using typically strictly for like attack purposes, or for something that like I can spam, because I think I have it set to the one that negates chill. So the biggest reason I use to avoid chill on a flask is for the strong boxes. When I identify one and it tells me it's going to freeze me on use, I'll pop that flask beforehand and then go in. And it's also that's my Quicksilver flask, so it's one I don't use quite as often because I leap slam around pretty often. Because the up on the D-pad is actually the hardest one to hit while moving at the same time. You know, you can kind of maneuver your thumb around to still hit left and right on the D-pad with a lot of ease, but you kind of have to like claw your controller, your left stick, if you want to like hit that top D-pad and still move at the same time. It's the same reason why I keep my heels on L1 and R1, just because those are the easiest two to actually hit while you're moving and playing. I can go into more detail on it in a video, though. Potentially get just kind of like a cheap camera to, you know, show my hands in the videos and how I kind of do that too. I think a big part of this game, honestly, if you can grasp the basics, you can kind of take on the rest over time and be absolutely fine. So I think learning like the very basics of the game is really the hardest part. And, oh, got frozen there. And once you have like a really solid understanding of the mechanics and how you want to build and how you want to gear and just, you know, the end game and how to set up, you can kind of take that information and run with it, and then just kind of gradually learn things over time. So that's why a lot of my videos more or less focus on like a lot of the just like the very, you know, basics and fundamentals of the game, because once you have that stuff down, like that's when the game becomes fun. So usually if you're having trouble on like the tier 1 maps, it's probably either low resist or low health. Typically people's damage output is fine for the first map, but if your resists aren't to that full 75%, you might be getting hurt there. And if your health is below, I always try to get mine at 5,000. I don't even have it there quite yet. I would say if it's below 4,500, you might be struggling because of that too. Yeah, that's actually really important, not spamming your flasks, just because the only way that you're going to refill those flasks is, is hitting and killing more enemies. So if you waste all your flask charges, you know, kind of panicking, it just puts you in a worse spot. So like even when it comes to just a basic healing flask, like you want to wait until your health gets down to a point where you're actually in danger. You know, try not to use that flask as soon as you start taking damage, just because if you do that, you know, you're basically wasting some healing, essentially. And that way you might not have it when you really need it. I think it's a super common thing to do. I honestly don't even consider that like a beginner level mistake. I think that's just like, I think it's like almost human nature. Because like you freak out, you see that health bar start to go down, and like your first instinct is, oh crap, I need to heal. So I think it's almost a reflex that you kind of have to train yourself out of. And I mean, the best thing you can do to just prepare yourself for later maps is literally just play your character more and more. Each build works a little bit differently, but as long as you kind of learn, you know, what your strengths and weaknesses of your build are, just from, you know, running those mid-tier and early-tier maps. Crap, I kind of waited too long to hit my heal there. Yeah, the resist being negative is going to be more detrimental than your health. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing a red tier map right now, actually. This is a tier 12 map, I think. I have to double check. I went the wrong way. I mean, this is a tier 12, and like, I mean, I just died for the first time on this map fighting the boss, and it's because I got cocky with my health files and used them a little late. Good, Waffle, how you doing? The hideout I'm using is actually from the Synthesis Supporter Pack. So it's actually not one you can earn in-game. And that's kind of always been a thing in this game. You're always rewarded for playing defensively. You want to have a reasonable amount of DPS, but playing tanky is... oh, crap. I walked right into that. Oh, we will for sure. I run a ton of community streams. I do this all the time. I need to learn how to stream and actually focus on what I'm doing at the same time. These are training exercises. So that'll actually help you out with your effective health. Because if you have minions that are taking damage for you, your health doesn't necessarily need to be as high. Okay, let's see. Let's just make sure I'm being smart here. I actually might just not make it through this boss. This might be a bit too much for me at this point. It's actually killing me faster than I can leech. Life regen. Crap. Let's see if I can find a decent pair of boots quick. I definitely don't need a pair of 40 Chaos boots. Alright, 33 to max life. You kidding me, dude? 2 exalted orbs for that? You're crazy. That's actually decent. I wish I had a little bit more movement speed, but it actually even has the sockets I need on it. 3 red and a green. That's exactly what I'm running right here. So those are actually pretty promising. Max life on that's pretty solid. And it's likely just a modifier on the different bosses. You too, dude. Have a good one. So my only deal with those one boots is the movement speed is low, but has solid resistant health. Make a conservative offer. Just offer a chaos. I gotta plug my controller in before this thing dies, so we'll go and try and beat down that boss one more time here. Solo self-found is a really good way to get better at the game in general, though. You have to learn how to craft that way. But I mean, you play enough solo self-found and, you know, learn how to craft like that. It's just going to help you out in the long run, because then you'll be able to craft. You'll understand the trade market. You can potentially craft to run the trade market. I mean, it's something you can definitely make work. This build, I've bought this sword. Technically some gems, but I could have also gotten those gems just from looting. I just bought them to get some extra quality, but yeah, I mean, that sword's the only thing I've actually gotten off the trade market other than gems. So, let's see. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. So I think it's the fact that it's gaining frenzy charges, and look how fast those projectiles are firing. Like, I just don't have enough life to actually sustain that amount of damage that quickly. So those boots would come in handy. That extra life might actually push me over the edge. Resist elemental, resist chaos, neither one of those are really holding me back. Fire damage, I've got plenty of fire resist, but yeah, the frenzy damage, the frenzy charges, the extra projectiles, having the allies move and attack faster. It may just be too much for my build right now. I should check and see how much XP I still have left after dying those like 3 times. None. So, I mean, we can pretty much... I must have hit the wrong button and actually went back to town instead of the checkpoint. So, let's see. What are some other potential fixes we can do here? It's more or less just... Let's see, where are we at so far on... So our casting damage taken is at 725. This requires level 39. I think we'll lock this at this point. And Feeble can go up a couple more levels. Poaching, I don't even really know what he means by that. could just tell me what you want for it. I think that dude thinks I'm trying to take advantage of him by just offering a chaos, but I typically offer a chaos just to find out what people actually want for their item. So I'm not quite sure if that guy was trying to be rude or not. Yeah, can you imagine if they merged Xbox, PS4, and PC? Dear Lord. They literally couldn't even move in. Yeah, I think we'll be done with this map. There's not really a point. I gotta get my health higher so I can actually survive that first hit. When you're getting one shot, there's really... Nice, dude. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. Clearly. I'm not quite there yet. Hey, Fearless, what's up? Yeah, I got a ways to go with this character. Either that or I've just literally run into a boss with modifiers that just... That projectile speed's insane. What's up? So we're just gonna run a different map in here. Store away some of this stuff. Nice, dude. Yeah, I still haven't had an Exalted Orb drop. The game has hated me this season. I've seen plenty drop for people I played with, but that's about it. That's probably pretty close to market price right now, so that's good. Starforge, nice. I think Watcher's Eye is even harder to get than that. These rings, I don't think I need. I've been stocking up. Yeah, I got too many of these at this point. So I do have some boots just hanging out here. Kind of want just pure strength-based ones.
Greetings.
Yeah, at this point the yellow tier maps are... I can run all of those without any problems, but... Just that one boss just destroyed me in that map. Thanks, dude. Will do. Yeah, we're unfortunately going to move on from that map. I actually don't remember what the modifiers were on the map either. Level 12 Pyramid, I think. I forgot what the actual modifiers were on the map. Actually, I think I was running double area bosses, so I was probably fighting 2 bosses at once too, if I remember correctly. Blessed Orb, that's decent. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have run that map blind, but there's a few things I still need to do with this build, actually. One is get my Impale nodes going. I'm actually going to get those going earlier than what I anticipated before. Get the new skill gems that I just socketed tonight leveled up. I still have to get a 6-link chest piece to maximize my Cyclone. Amulet's nice. And we need to replace the boots that I've got, because what I was using them for is now irrelevant. The only reason I'm actually skipping Alva right now is because I've already got my temple built. And I don't feel like running the Templar right now. Oh, tier 11 map, nice. Yeah, more than likely. I don't mind too much just because I typically run a new character every single league. I don't end up playing my characters a lot in standard after they move over. But yeah, if it's something you can plan on continuing to play, then yeah, there's no sense in playing something that's going to get nerfed. I would farm Blood Aqueducts. It's just a really good place for consistent gear. That's an Act 9. There's just a lot of really good stuff that you can loot from that area. You know, decently leveled monsters, so that way you're still, you know, leveling up at a decent rate. Hey dude, what's up? This one, I think, is a tier 9, if I remember correctly. I think this is the last batch of yellow maps. The yellow maps aren't an issue. Oh, I wasn't hitting there. I hate it when that happens. Just annoying when Cyclone stops hitting. It's gotten better, but there's still situations like that where it just stops and your health just goes down to nothing. Yeah, lag is Cyclone Elder. Uber Elder. See, look at that right there. We don't desync. Never in danger. Absolutely fine. An elk orb. That's decent. No boots, though. For this build, I initially planned on using Chance to Bleed, but I don't really use it now. It's basically the Chance to Bleed. I can, one, actually put it on my Infernal War Chief. Two, the way that my unique works is every time I crit, I'm basically going to cause bleed. My crit chance is super low, but basically it happens enough. Well, I caught my Cyclone not working there. A lot of the pricing will have to do with the builds people are using too. It's the same tier 11 we picked up earlier. Gloves. Armor energy shield boots, not exactly what I'm looking for. It kind of seems like it, and like it's gotten worse this league just because all the technical issues the game has. I think a lot of our player base has started to drop off. What do you mean by open maps? Dexterity evasion. No, that's not useful for me. We can party up. I don't mind. My streams are kind of open for partying up at this point. Let me check one thing quick, actually. 'Cause I think... There, I should be visible in the community page now. Yeah, they got a lot of work ahead of them in this game. They're bringing out gradual fixes, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of people who play who are super discouraged. It's unfortunate too, because a lot of people find themselves dying in the game. It's not even their fault. A lot of desync deaths, just stupid stuff.
Hello.
It's unfortunate because it's an awesome game. It has some really, really dumb problems that shouldn't exist. We could run something a little higher too. I'm actually kind of curious to see if it was just the modifiers on that boss that I was struggling with, because I got through literally the entire rest of that map without any issues. I think it's just the fact that it's not to put them down in any shape, way, or form, but GGG is just, this is, kind of their game. Like, they don't have the experience that someone like Square Enix has when it comes to, programming games, porting games from console to console. It's, this is kind of their first big port. So and that's not meant to be an excuse by any means. Like, they definitely need to fix it, but the reason why a company like Square Enix can, do a perfect port over is they've been doing it for like 30 years now. Like, those guys definitely know what they're doing. Yeah, whatever map you want to run, you just toss it to me and we'll see how far we can get. Yeah, I mean, even I've gotten to the point this league where, like, I've lagged out of, like, the labyrinth, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna put it down for a few minutes, go play something else or go do something else, and I'll come back to it. You just get discouraged. I haven't gotten blue screened yet today. Knock on wood. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't have an Xbox One, so I'm not sure if they have the same issues we have on PS4. I could be wrong, but isn't PS4 Linux based? Let's see what ones I haven't gotten the bonus for yet. Do the tier 12 first. That's what I did before, and that boss just ate me alive. But I may just have needed to pay more attention to the mods, which we'll do this time. If we have to reroll, we'll reroll. It's not a huge deal. Vulnerability, I mean, that sucks in itself. Increased, yeah, like... I'm gonna scour that and reroll it. Monster variety. Cannot regenerate life. Man, damn. Definitely can't survive not regenerating mana. These mods suck. Stunned. Whatever, I don't think leech and recovery count as the same thing. I can deal with that too. Increased damage kind of sucks, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think when the PS3 first came out, I read a story about how the US government bought like thousands of them and like linked them together to make a supercomputer because it was like more cost efficient than any other supercomputer they could build at the time. Just kind of an insane thought. I mean, PlayStation's really good at that in general. Like, the PS3, a lot of people bought a PS3 when it first came out because it was actually the cheapest way that you could get a Blu-ray player. Like, it had Blu-ray technology, but it was still technically cheaper than most Blu-ray players on the market at that point. And then the PlayStation 2 did the exact same thing, except with DVDs.
Do that trick, Maloney. Allow me to lend you some raw fight.
It's just crazy how they kind of, shoot.
Was automatically doomed to fail the moment you challenged me.
Just failing hard all over the place tonight. It could be the fact that I have these new gems equipped. Indeed it is. Let's see, level 42, 44. Probably have to lock this at this point. Trial of Burning Rage, I'm pretty sure this one, yeah. That's the other thing I can do to improve my build is actually
There is much to be learned
find
by
my last
watching
few
the
Trials of
cogs
Ascendancy.
turn. Even more with a little deconstruction.
Oh, yikes. I was just talking to a guy and now I'm dead. Oh, that was really dumb. I should have... Yeah. I got killed while I wasn't paying attention, literally. I probably should have checked the area before I went into the dialogue screen, but still. You could just turn it into a drinking game. Take a shot every time you blue screen. Tonight's drinking game is a shot for every time that you blue screen and every time that I die. I think at this point you would you need a doctor. There we go. So I'm pretty sure there's a monolith right over, yeah, right over here. I am also from Wisconsin. Still in Wisconsin, actually. Wow, that was some extreme lag. That's cool to have a fellow Scotty here in the stream. I'm just outside of Madison. Yep, I actually grew up like 20 minutes away from the Dells. So summers were fun at least. And when anyone I know in the area decides that they're going to go to the Dells for the weekend, I can kind of tell them, you know, what there's actually worth the money and what isn't. Got some divination cards, so that's nice. Oh, that is awesome. Ooh, Elk Orb, nice. Mostly stoked about the 5 Chaos Orb divination card I just got. I don't feel bad. My Chaos Gem is still on a 4-link. I was hoping when we ran at Series Pyramid that would change, but that wasn't the case. That's actually a decent little sword. It's too bad running two-handed though. Be great for a dual-wield build. I got quite a few belts. Stone on this. Oh, my it's my ancestral war chief. This is basically just a totem. But it yeah, I think it should be a tier 12 unique. Not all comments are showing up? That's weird. Yeah, sure, definitely. I used to have a lot of luck. Like last league, I ended up getting 3 6-links from that map. Huh, that's weird. I don't have any like specific phrases or anything blocked. I'm pretty sure like the only person who's blocked is that dude from a few streams ago who just started shouting obscenities. Hey Mike, what's up? That blew my mind. So this dude came into the stream, right? Started being super obscene. Like I muted him from the chat because, you know, not cool. And he actually created a second account, came back and started doing the same thing. So I live in the central time zone in the US. So typically it's between like 8:30, 9 o'clock that I'll usually start. I typically stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It differs a little bit here and there. Like yesterday, I actually did kind of like a special little stream, or I did like a Throwback Thursday stream. I played like an old school game. But yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is usually when I stream Path of Exile. This Wednesday I didn't stream, but it's because I was sick. Let's see. Actually, funny thing you mentioned that. It looks like the only other dude who YouTubes and plays this game on PS4 just popped in. What's up, dude? Let's see. No crappy mods. No crappy mods. X-proof accuracy, power charge. Whatever, I can deal with those. No, so there's no like set item boosts or anything like that. It's just yeah, whatever the unique item itself actually does. You can corrupt items to get, you know, potential modifiers and stuff like that, but yeah, there's nothing for having like a full set of items. I actually only briefly played Warframe, but was actually pretty impressed from the little bit that I played. I think I played it, I want to say it was shortly after... Oh god, those mods suck. Whatever, let's run it anyways. I played it shortly after they made Destiny 2 available for everyone for free. And in like 10 minutes I was like, this game is actually a lot better than Destiny 2. So you want to hit 75 resists for everything. Oh, yikes. One more rip. Shot time. Yeah, this map is actually one of those. Yeah, it's 60 after Act 10. You take 5 after Act, or 30 after Act 5, and then another 30 after Act 10 for 60 total. Yikes, I knew this map modifier was gonna suck. I just didn't realize it'd be this hard. gonna have to back off and actually use flasks, yeah. Those daggers suck. There's just no point not running it. I corrupted it, so I mean, it's either use it or get rid of it. Yeah, like this map's almost a lost cause. The end boss just has so much added damage, and then when you defeat something that shoots the stupid little porcupine spikes everywhere, and yeah, this is just a super bad map to run. It's too late for that. Nothing you can do though. Once you corrupt that map, you get crappy modifiers. You're just stuck running it. Kinda is what it is.
Hello?
I actually haven't switched up my Pantheon in a minute. I haven't captured anything yet, that's why I don't have that. That was last league. Not for this build. I'm using a two-handed sword build. Yeah, streaming on YouTube's it's fun. Like they make you be a bit conservative with your language, but obviously you can't play any music because they're much more strict on all the copyright stuff than Twitch is too. Why are all my maps malformation maps? Lord. That's whatever. Hopefully this one doesn't corrupt the same way the last one did. That was awful. Those mods are fine. Please just identify the map. Field temporal. Oh, dear Lord. Just having no luck tonight. Twitch streaming was okay because of the freedom that it gives you, but at the same time, like, Twitch is where all the PC players stream, and those guys are so established. I just found it really hard to get anyone to even want to watch on Twitch. It's just difficult because, like, I kind of paid attention to Twitch for a little while, like, while I was streaming on there, just to kind of, like, try and, like, figure out exactly when people are watching Path of Exile streams, and it really didn't have anything to do with time of day. It just had to do with who was online. Like, everyone's trying to watch Ziz, or, yeah, just basically any of the big-name PC streamers. Like, they literally come online just for those guys. It's not necessarily that people are looking to watch, you know, anyone stream Path of Exile on Twitch. or they're looking for like someone new to watch. They're they're there for the big names, the guys who are already established. Typically 3 months, I think, is average league time. So I don't know the exact end date of this league. I don't know if they've even technically announced it yet. I admittedly haven't been checking the forums as actively as I did last league. Yeah, like the freedom that you get on there is really great, but yeah, when you have an established YouTube base, I think it did maybe like 6 streams on Twitch, and I just kind of came to the conclusion that, my main goal in the beginning was to like try and grow my community by doing it. So I'd stream on Twitch and then like post the videos to YouTube later, so that way everyone on YouTube could still watch everything. But then I just kind of came to the conclusion that it more or less felt like I was just kind of alienating my viewers on YouTube to try and grow the channel. It just wasn't worth it. Ah, crap.
This one is captured. I know it. We will be best friends, Beast, until we slaughter you. Oh, that was a...
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I have like 50 or 60 followers on Twitch, but I'll still only get like 3 people watching at a time. It's like, I don't understand this. These numbers don't make any sense. Let's see. Trial of Lingering Pain. Is that one? Holy crap, it's actually what I need, finally. That was the other issue that I ran into with Twitch. Like, any of my viewers that, watch on YouTube that need to watch in a lower resolution in order to, like, help their internet out, that's not an option for, like, the, I don't know what you'd call it, the less popular Twitch streamers. It's actually, like, reserved for, people who have more viewers. Which I thought that was kind of lame too. Like, I literally had people who came from YouTube to watch on Twitch, and like they couldn't even watch the stream because they didn't have the greatest internet, and like they couldn't scale the resolution down because that just wasn't an option on my channel. God, I hate these trials. Yeah, and it sucks because like there's nothing you can do about it. Like, the last thing I want to do is make it so someone, who wants to watch the stream can't watch the stream. Like, that sucks. Oh, that was not smart to jump into. Yeah, because the thing about being, like, a smaller streamer is, like, you actually grow to appreciate each and every individual person that you have participating in your streams. A lot of that kind of gets lost, I feel like, with the bigger streamers, because, they've got tens of thousands of people watching them. One, they can't really interact with their chat anyway, it's just not physically possible. And two, if there's, 5 people who can't watch their stream, it's not so much, I don't want to say they don't care, but, like, I don't know, some of them probably don't, but it's just they don't have really, crap. I'm trying to pay attention to both things at the same time. But, you know, they don't really have that interpersonal... I don't really know how to describe it. They're not responding to each and every single comment and each and every single subscriber that they have when they have questions or just, you know, general comments in general. So, you know, that doesn't really affect them, or they just don't see it. Whereas, you know, people like us, where, you know, you have, you know, less than 10,000, you know, you have a couple thousand subscribers or less, and, you know, you don't want, you know, 3 to 4 people that you're trying to stream for to not be able to see the stream. It sucks. Life kind of gets in the way too. As weird as that sounds to say, you know, because that's the other thing. All those guys, you know, streaming's their job. Crap, I'm like lagging into these things. But like, you know, when streaming's your job, it's a lot easier to, you know, put the time in, stream every single day, respond to people. But, you know, when you have a full-time job, you're trying to do this at the same time. It can get difficult. I try to respond right away when I see notifications, because if I don't, then I know there's a good chance that, like, I might not be able to respond, because it might get buried, and then I just end up missing it entirely. So, when that does happen, it's definitely not intentional. Hey dude, how's it going? I should probably just turn that off so I can actually see what's going on. It's like one of the few areas where the overhead map just sucks. I can understand that. This game can get super frustrating. Even tonight, like, I'm just dying over and over again on just for dumb reasons. Like, this trial sucks. Even lagging a little bit makes this trial just suck even harder. I hate these little spinny things. There's, like, not really many enemies to regain my health. Overhead map hides too much. I think I'm almost to the end of it, though. Mike, you're actually not the first person I've heard that from. It's because of the, you know, you lag into that, you know, the darkness area, and then there's literally nothing you can do. Like, you lag, you end up in the darkness, and you come back dead. How can I make a minion army? So if you're a necromancer, you'll use, basically summon skeletons, summon zombies. You can go ahead and, almost everyone will run a golem. You can add a golem to the mix. Potentially some specters. There's a few different ways to do it, but it's all based off of skill gems. Sorry for making you wait through that terrible trial. say just stuff like that. You just lag and then get frozen into place from status effects, and this is why they've got a lot of work to do with this game. It's just really dumb stuff like that. It's frustrating. Crap. What a way to waste a portal. That sucked so bad. There's a lot of passive skill nodes too that you can use that'll actually get you more zombies and more skeletons. Yeah, I admittedly have played a little bit less this league just because of a lot of the optimization issues. They seem to be worse than what they were in Synthesis League. I don't remember lagging or just disconnecting nearly this often when the game first launched. I don't know if it's the balancing that they did with adding more enemies in, or if it's just... I honestly don't know what they did to kind of make it the way that it is now. But while I don't think the Synthesis League mechanics were more fun, I do think the game ran better as a whole.
We will be best. Off you go, little beast. Away!
Yeah, I mean, people can say what they will about, Synthesis not being as fun as other leagues, but at least in regards to PS2, like, it worked. That was the biggest thing.
Off you go, little beast. Away!
I mean, it sucks because the worse the performance is, like, the more you're gonna die. There's not really a whole lot you can do about it. Like, I think it literally died. I don't even know. I just died again. I don't even know how many times I died last league, but I've already died more in this league than I did last league. By a ton. Too late. I'm just lagging too much, man. I feel like a lot of those bosses and enemies with a lot of projectiles are just lagging up my game right now. Because that seems to be what's like, it looks like it's one-shotting me, but I'm kind of doubting it is. I think you throw a little bit of lag into that equation too. Being slowed, having a bunch of projectiles, and just a slight bit of lag. Especially on a life leech build, not being able to leech my life back, it's just not going well. Like, and I try and keep it in perspective, just because, like, I've read a lot of stuff online that, like, even on, like, PC, Like with a lot of the update patches that came through Legion, a lot of those guys were getting one-shotted and dying a lot more often than they normally do. Makes me feel a little better, especially when you throw in the factor of we have all the performance issues on top of it. But I mean, it still sucks. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, it's not a bad league at all. Like, the league mechanics are actually pretty cool. Like, I enjoy, like, the whole Legion aspect of it. But, like, whatever they did, like, they just destroyed it. I think it would work. I actually haven't used that gem too much myself, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's already happened to me a few times on this stream, where my Cyclone just stops hitting anything. I suppose on the bright side, I'm getting much better about activating my auras before I go into maps now. I saw something good dropped right there. Did you get an Exalted Orb? I mean, just to put everything in perspective, too, like, I don't mean to sit and rag on the game. Like, clearly, I enjoy this game. Like, stuff like that, that's stupid. I was literally across the way and lagged back to where I leap slammed from, and then I pop back in and I'm dead. Such a good game, but they really gotta fix some of this stuff. Yeah. I need the anti-lag support gem in my Cyclone. I still need to submit my idea for a support gem to GGG, the cast when lag taken support gem. I'm literally going to link it to all my skills so I can spam all my skills constantly. Right there. See, when I don't lag, things go fine. Right, they'd be like, so, patch notes, we've decided to nerf the cast when lag taken support gem and increase lag across the game for a better, more balanced gaming experience. God, I just... Man, I don't blame you. You use Leap Slam, you can end up teleporting halfway back through the map. That's why I honestly like Next League, and I know the brutal fact of the matter is the fact that it's probably not going to get fixed this league. Like, my hope, like Next League, I don't care what the league mechanics are. As long as the game runs smoothly, we could be running through a special map where we kill ponies and unicorns. I don't care, as long as the game runs well. They can make Spark the OP skill, like, it doesn't matter to me, as long as the game runs well. Do whatever you want Next League. Just tired of teleporting and lagging. Let's see, did we kill the boss already?
Hello, Exile. I mean,
Yeah, we don't need to go through there.
Remember to watch your step, Exile. We may have helped.
Okay, I didn't think so.
There's no telling what kind of things have taken up residence.
See, like, I don't understand how I didn't lag worse, like, there. I leap slam like 3 times. My entire screen was filled with lightning, and that was fine. Oh, but we lagged there, while nothing else was on the screen. Yeah, those are some really sad drops. Darkness, I'd take it. I would take a 30% resistance penalty for no lags and no blue screens in a heartbeat. They give me a 60% penalty. I'd be cool with that. I apologize if I'm overventing about it a little bit. It just seems to be a little worse tonight than it's been previously. I don't know what they did with the last patch, but things are not running well. Elva's there, but we can't run an incursion with her because the temple's complete in my game. So we'd have to run the whole temple. Hey, what's up, Dirk? Yeah, I'm down to run at Ziri. Let me see if I can shoot you an invite here. Yeah, my PSN is the BullShifter. Unfortunately, someone else had already taken BullShifter. You should be able to join through the community page, actually. So I have the permanent allocation set. Oh, I don't need that thing, dude. Thank you, though. I have permanent allocation set, so that way the game, like, selects particular items for certain people. Let's see. Oh, nice. It's already at 9 quality. Oh, it's corrupted, so I don't think I can actually even use a chisel on it to increase the quality. Pretty sure I can't. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, I've always kind of figured that's the fairest way to deal with the loot. Just kind of let the game decide who gets what. I'm sure they give like the option to not have that on. I mean, it's not on by default. I'm sure they do it to kind of give like a classic ARPG feel, kind of give you that, you know, that loot rush. I got a Chaos Orb at least. I'm beyond due for a 6 link or just Exalted Orb. Something. Six Link, I know you're here. Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, there's some solid people in the PS4 community. It's usually pretty active. Even with as frustrating as this league's kind of been. Saw a lot of dedicated people in there always playing. Same. It's the second run in a row we've done on the pyramid where we haven't gotten a single six link. Yeah, see, and stuff like that, this doesn't make any sense. Like, how are they gonna blue screen you when you're just sitting in your hideout? I can see, like, logging out due to timeout, which for whatever reason doesn't happen in this game. I don't know if that's it, because I've sat in my hideout AFK for a super long period of time and the game doesn't do anything. Hey dude, welcome to the stream. I actually went to school with a guy named Brandon Ray. I gotcha. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm down. Kind of seems like any map's gonna be a challenge with how the game's running net anyways, so... Yeah, it just sucks we haven't been getting any returns from that pyramid map. I'm actually not sure. A lot of people know how to seal prophecies, to be honest with you. Don't worry about the Exaltador, man. That's not a big deal. You know, I'm not running Malformation. I don't want to go back to that map. Map's left a sour taste in my mouth. Let's see, is there anything I don't have a bonus for that we have one of the maps of? Well, there's a couple actually. A couple tier 9s. Yeah, there's plenty on there, but I almost wonder, like, because of the fact that they're so random, how many, like, people are sitting on solid prophecies that just have no idea, or who are sitting on specific prophecies that they could actually trade and get something for, and they just don't know. That's something I should actually do for a video, because I don't really know. I've done a lot of tutorial videos at this point, but I don't think I've actually covered one for prophecies. I know I've talked about it like during streams and stuff, but I don't know if I've made like a video dedicated to just that. See, my thing is I remember what a lot of the prophecies do, but I don't remember what they're called. Which isn't a huge deal, like I can pull up a wiki for titles. Ooh, a Syndicate Lab. This should be fun. Dead end. I got the boss in here.
Strength in numbers is still strength.
Oh, my volume entirely cut out.
Ancestors,
I don't want to be caged again.
forgive me.
There's only one fate for the weak, Exile.
You honor the way by swiftly delivering death to warriors who fought well.
Yeah, those items are worth a decent little chunk of change too.
Consider us even.
Faded Prophecies. That's actually how I got my Frostferno hood last league. It was through a Faded Prophecy.
Cool winds.
I'm standing on corrupted ground.
Blessings.
I don't know why the volume of my game completely went out just now. It's not the first time that's happened either. So I accepted it, but in the future for people it actually makes it a bit easier if you either just follow me on PSN or join the community page, so you can join from there, just because my friends list is starting to kind of fill up and I'm having a hard time kind of differentiating who's who. I don't mind by any means, but so my game volume's actually completely gone out. Are you guys able to still hear my microphone okay then? I just want to make sure it's not my hardware that's acting up and that it's just the game itself. Okay, good. That's the same way it happened before too. This is the second time this has happened to me on a stream. Well, I didn't get an Exalted Orb, but I got an Orb of Annulment. That's a little better than what I've been looting lately. Yeah, it's super weird. I hate Desecrated Ground. I'll like see my health going down. I'm like, what's going on? And then I'll realize, oh yeah, that's right. I'm running a map with Desecrated Ground. Randomly leaving the group, 85% chance of blue screen. So short allocation, if I understand it correctly, is for a short period of time. It'll make it so that items are assigned to specific people, but then after a few seconds they'll be open to everyone.
Prepared for the end.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I didn't know the exact amount, but I knew it was relatively short. Actually, if we're trying to remember which one is it actually called that I use. Okay, so mine's permanent allocation, so it's why it's specific. It's all based off of whoever the lobby leader is. So if they joined your game and you have permanent allocation set, it defaults to what you have set. Oh, for sure, dude. Thanks for stopping in. Hey, my sound came back. This game has so many weird issues. It took a while for those maps to come up. Or the portals, anyways. But yeah, I do hope the things that I've talked about with the game tonight and the performance issues and everything don't discourage anyone. I'm sure it's getting worked on over time, but I just think the more often you play, I don't know, the more frustrated you can get by small things like that. It's not like a deal breaker by any means, but huh. I don't even know how that's possible. It's almost like they kept you in my hideout but threw you on a different server. Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband. That song makes me laugh to this day, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I actually saw that report on the news when it originally happened. I mean, that's what I've spent currency on. Tabs.
Leave the mask on. I don't care.
I've purchased tabs and a couple of cosmetic boxes when they were running a special.
There is only one escape from the syndicated exile: staying alive.
Nah, you're getting interrogated.
Bargaining and interrogation.
Or, I'm sorry,
Always
I have to
same
use
in the
EA
end.
terminology. They're not loot boxes, they're surprise elements.
Blessings.
Increase movement speed. It's a marketing strategy I honestly don't mind either. Not surprise mechanics with stash tabs. Nah, it's the right time to spend it too. Yeah, like a lot of the stash tabs are... It's more of a luxury than anything else, but like some of them are necessary. Like, I don't think I could go back to playing without a currency tab. I think I'd go completely insane without a currency tab. Map tabs are super nice too, especially after the update, now that they actually show you like little icons of the master. Oh, sorry dude, you joined in I think right as we killed the boss there. Yeah, he was partying hard for his birthday. Yeah, no worries, dude. Have a good one, man. Thanks for coming along on the journey. Actually, what time is it? Oh crap, it's a lot later than I thought it was. Let's run one more, and then I'll probably call it a night from there, to be honest with you. Got a big day tomorrow. Kid's first birthday party. I honestly don't know how many tabs you can have. I'm not sure if they limit you.
Greetings.
Like, I have pretty much all the special ones, like currency tab, map tab, essence tab. You know, unique tab, divination card tab, and the fragment tab. But that's because I bought the supporter pack for the first league. I just decided to kind of dump all that currency into just basically getting all the tabs that I thought I'd need. So yeah, let's run one more map. And not malformation. Yo dog, I heard you like tabs, so we tabbed your tabs with some more tabs. Gonna pimp your tabs, bro. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them do what they did with Diablo on PC. It's Diablo on PC for getting to a certain challenge in any season that they'd have. you'd get rewarded with an extra stash tab. Something like that would be pretty nice. Like, I'm sure that's their main source of income for the game. Like, I know they sell all the cosmetics and stuff too, but I feel like the average player is more likely to buy stash. But I mean, they don't even have to offer a premium stash tab, it can just be a base one. Be a cool little addition to the game. Yeah, I can tell I'm getting way too tired because I didn't even see the boss sitting there. See, and that's a good point. And since you have to spend at least, you know, $5 to pick up any amount of currency, yeah, it's a $5 sale right there. You have a good night as well. That's gonna conclude the stream for me, just because got a really big day tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for popping in. It's always awesome to talk to everyone, play a little bit. You know, like I said, the game is a little frustrating in its current state, just from, you know, all the lag and performance issues. But deep down, it is still a really good game. Clearly, I'm not going to stop playing it anytime soon. Going to keep streaming. I'm going to keep making videos, and you know, I'm going to stick it out for the long haul, and hopefully things get better. Not just for me, but for the player base in general, just because a lot of people really like this game, rightfully so. It's an awesome game. So, you know, I hope they iron out their problems over time. I don't expect the world out of these guys immediately, but the sooner the blue screens and all the lag and the attacks not hitting, the sooner that stuff is fixed, you know, definitely the better for everyone involved and everyone playing. So, you know, that's kind of my 2 cents on it, and I'm sure everyone feels the same way. Great game, but it needs some fixes. But yeah, thank you guys for popping in. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the comments and you guys taking part. Thanks for everyone who came in and played tonight. I would say, you know, definitely if Kamal's out there streaming right now, definitely go ahead and check out his channel. And you know, throw some support his way as well. He's pretty much the only other PS4 streamer I really know of. I'm sure there's others, but he's the only one I've had direct contact with. Super cool guy. So you know, if he's online streaming right now, I'd definitely go give him a look. If you haven't checked out his channel too, definitely pop on over there as well. He also has some really good content. So again, thank you guys. I hope you guys have a great night and a great weekend. Thank you for all the kind words and well wishes. And until next time, may the RNG be with you. Always.